Alright, this is the final part. And after this video, I'm going to upload it and I'm going to clean my room for a good 10 15 bucks. And then I'm going to take my shower and I'm going to go to the store and get my smokes. A nice walk, and then I'll come back and enjoy the video after you guys. Because usually by the time I'm done cleaning, it's like, and I come back home, you guys are probably about done watching the video by the time I come back from the store after I bought my smokes. I watched my video, and my time done my video was like 11:30, and then yeah, and around that time, yeah, obviously, obviously, right, obviously, right, yeah, yeah. So once I'm gonna clean my room for money, and that way I can get smokes, and I'll upload it, and you guys will enjoy the video. For some reason, my part twos they don't upload, so I have to constantly I have to re-upload all that. That's why sometimes you get like part one and like part three upload and part two is not available. Yeah, it's because it's weird. Sometimes my phone does not upload part two. I have to, and I end up re-uploading, and eventually it re-uploads. Obviously, for you guys to watch. Obviously, yeah. So that's my deal for Peter and Mel Gibson. So because Peter worked in your movie, you could give him a small piece of the merch. Give him 50 million in royalties. I can give Mel like 15 million bucks. He's smaller than Peter. Sign Peter to a $550 million deal. That's good for him. And you can sign Mel to like a like I don't know, two like $25 million deal with Mel Gibson. Two $15 to $20 million deal with Mel Gibson. It's a good deal for those guys. And they're gonna be my co-director, executive producer, and and director for my movie. And they'll be the boss. I'll give you full power. I might give full power. Yeah, I'll give you full power. But me and Peter are still the boss over you, even though you have full power. So I'm saying, Peter, you have full power. Mel, you have full power, but we're the boss over you, man. So I'm saying, that's why you gotta listen to me. If I tell you to take your notes, you gotta take your notes, man. I don't want you waiting here for my Zane story, man. I need you prep Peter. I need you prep Mel. Obviously. So whoever I choose when I have them compete for the job, that's how much money I'm going to pay them. So let's say if I choose Mel Gibson, I like switching back and forth. Let's say if I choose Mel Gibson, obviously, I don't hate Peter Jackson. Mel Gibson will help me make the calls for the main things, help me co-write the script, do the concept arts with me, take his notes. We have to go over the script like two more times after the first draft is finished. You'll help my 17 with the calls a little bit once everything is now done. The third half of the year, obviously, he'll help me sign the contracts the second year when I fly in the stars. Second year, will help me sign those four groups of people the first year that I just mentioned. So the costume designers, what a workshop, the mass designers, and the people overseeing the extras. Yeah, we have to sign those four groups of people. The trained nutritionists we got to sign the first year. I need you guys preparing a weight schedule for me and all my actors, and a diet plan schedule for all the actors. What kind of food do we eat? How many cheat days do we have a week? Yeah, Ivan, you have like I don't know two cheat days a week, and the rest of the week you got to eat healthy food. You got to eat your chicken and your salad, your pasta, and you got to stay away from bread and carbs, all that stuff. From soft drinks, you can if you want to drink soft drinks, you got to drink zero drinks. Mountain Dew zero, Coke zero. You know what I'm saying? 7 Up zero. You can't be drinking the other drinks; they're bad for you. You have one. Ivan, you have one. You can have like two cheat days a week if you want. Okay, 2 days a week I'll eat my junk food. And the other days I eat my healthy food. That way the actors work out and their body looks healthy and they're in shape for the role, obviously. Sarah. And third year, for the actors to maintain their weight, chances are the trainer will tell them you got to work out at least like 2 times a week. So the actors are probably so I won't need to book a gym for you guys the third year because you guys will be staying in the hotel. So twice a week, I recommend you guys work out in the gym. That way you stay in shape. So while you're training, you constantly keep working out in the gym like twice a week. Yeah, they got to work out. If they want to maintain their physique, they got to work out at least like twice a week in the gym or something like that. And I got to work out. I'll work out twice a week in my condo, where I stay in shape. And everyone's jacked and ready for the role, obviously. I could have them train. I could have the actors train third year if you want, and first year all they have to do is just practice their lines if you want. But if they train, it's going to distract them from their tackle training. And that's why I want to do their weight training second year, obviously. Yeah, so Mel Gibson will help me with all that, obviously. That's the dudes will help me with, obviously. Make the calls for all the main things. And Mel Gibson is shocked. Ivan, like, you're making your movie for paying $200 million. I'm like, yeah, he's like, holy shit, your company's top notch. You know, I say, Ivan, you're looking at like an 8K world, man. Looking at like real horror. Ivan, like, this is like, Ivan, I am so happy, man. Like, I can have Eric be the scariest being in movie history, Ivan. That like real devils, Ivan. These will make the demons in My Passion Christ look like PG, Ivan. Looking at demons, looking at a powerful story, yeah. And I think Mel Gibson's version of Zane's will be a more powerful story than Peter's version. But I think Peter Jackson's version will be will have more of that fantasy feel than Mel Gibson's version. But Mel Gibson will have more of that the horror aspect of it. That's why I think that's the difference, obviously. Because when you watch Passion of the Christ, when Jesus was in agony, I'm thinking something like My Passion of Christ. When Jesus is in agony, you get this creepy music. You know what I'm saying? Eric and all his demonic army are approaching, looking amazing. Mel Gibson will tell me, Ivan, if you think the agony in Passion of Christ was crazy, think of like something 2-3 times that for your movie. Like, you're going to be in agony, Ivan. Eric and them are going to be devils, man. You put 600 million towards visual effects, you're looking at something demonic. You're looking at like Eric and them are going to be real demons, Ivan. Yeah, the world's going to cry for you and all your actors, Ivan. Yeah. Just like people cried when they watched Passion of the Christ. It's sad, obviously. If you think that's creepy, Eric and them are demons and devils, obviously. And you remember how in Passion of Christ, when Jesus was getting whipped, when he went to the cross, Satan was constantly watching Jesus. You have something similar to that in Zanus too. Throughout Tactius' life, you have the ancestors of the South, they watch, and the ancestors of the North are watching too. They're watching Tactius and Eratet and all of them. I don't want to spoil the story. We'll see what I mean when you read the book. Yeah, I have some good ideas for that. You know what I'm saying? No good. That's the big question. Whose interpretation of Zanus is better? Peter Jackson's version or Mel Gibson's version? I think Mel Gibson's version will lean more towards the horror, like you got for Passion of Christ, the horror and the gore and the Christian themes. Whereas Peter will lean more towards, he'll lean a lot on the horror too, because Eric will be a devil, obviously. I think Peter will lean more towards the secular version of it. It's a bit more secular, and you get more of that fantasy feel Peter's version. Obviously. So I think if Peter were to direct my movie, I would probably get better world building than Mel Gibson. A better world building. It will still be the same thing pretty much. Because I'm going to be involved in the concert as well, but you'll probably get a more fantasy feel with Peter's version. And Peter's version of my movie will be more secular. Because Peter's not a Christian, whereas Mel Gibson will put probably a few little Christian symbolism and themes in there, obviously. I see Tactius as like Jesus, and I see Eratet like the devil, obviously, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you have the answers of the South, the answers of the North, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I see Papyri kind of like Jesus' disciple, Ivan. I don't know, Ivan Georgi has a beard in the movie, he has a small beard. Yeah, I want Ivan Georgi to have a beard in the movie. He has this beard. He has this like small little beard in the movie, and I want him to have long hair. I want Papyri. He has long hair, but Von Georgi has this long hair, and he has like this beard. He has that like Jesus disciple look in the movie. Like an amazing movie, yeah. Then John Boyega, I might have him. He has a buzz cut, and I might have him have a beard in the movie too. Because Sassatonius, that way he looks older than me. Because Sassatonius is like 2.5, 3 years old in Tactius. So you need to have John Boyega look a bit older. He has like this beard in the movie, obviously. He has his beard in the movie, yeah. Look at that's why the actors for Zanus are lucky, man. Yeah, man. So once we do all that first year, second year is when I start flying in all the stars. But something tells me Mel Gibson is not as greedy and cheap as Peter. Mel Gibson, well, yeah, I didn't pay Avon like $4 million. Pay him a lot of money. That way he works hard for us. Pay him $5 million in royalties, Ivan. That way he works hard for us, Ivan. I'm like, Ivan, you're paying him this kind of money? I'm like, yeah, holy shit, your company blows out of the water. Like, Jim Caviezel only made like $1 million for Passion of the Christ, Ivan. And you worked hard for me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, your company blows out of the water, Ivan. Yeah, you can afford to pay all your actors like they're rich fucking A-list or contracts, Ivan. I'm like, yeah, Mel's all happy. Hey, Mel, you signed Yvonne Joje, sign him to his $4 million deal, and give him $5.5 million. Pay him either 3.5 minimum and no higher than $4 million, and give him no more than $5.5 million in royalties. If his agent wants 10, do not let him dupe you. Pay him 5.5. Ivan, what about 8? I'm like, no, I'm not paying him 8. He's not worth that, man. He's a biggest actor. You know I'm stupid, guys? Then VJ, you can sign John Boyega. Ivan, let's pay him 8. We gotta watch. Okay, fine. If you want to pay him 8, pay him 8. You're the boss, obviously. But don't pay him any less than 8. If you pay him like 7, he'll be pissed off. Ivan, what the fuck? You said 8.9 because he's thinking that, I'm saying. Pay him 8 to 8.9. If you want to pay him a bit less, that's fine. You can pay him 8.5, 8.4 if you want. You'll make it a bit less. But don't pay him any less than 8. He's a major character. He needs to get paid, VJ. Okay, fine. And VJ pays him as 8.9. I'll pay him as 8.9. Okay, VJ, pay him as 8.9. And give John Boyega $5.5 million in royalties and points. That's my deal for him. And you sign him for the Zanus game. Sign Yvonne Joje to $1.5 million for the game. John Boyega $1.5 million for the game. That's a good deal for them. They don't get squat off the royalties. They don't get any royalty money. They what? Obviously, yeah. And my photographers are gonna have to take pictures for the what? For the what? For the covers for the game too, right? The actors have to get together in the studio. They gotta take pictures for that too. Yeah, so it's a lot of work, man. And then the graphic designers have to edit those pictures. Yeah, a lot of work for the photographers too. Don't forget that, right? Yeah. And I'll sign Djimon Hounsou. So I'll sign those 3 actors first because they're like the 3 major characters of the story. When you read the book, you see what I mean. Tactius is the main character, but like Cassius, Tacitonius, and Papyri are major characters. And everyone else are pretty major. They're supporting characters. They're major characters too, but they're supporting. But they're not as major as those 3, Samsara. They're not as major as those 3, though. But all those other actors are all major too. They're all supporting characters. Obviously. And Djimon Hounsou, I'll sign him to like a $10.4 million deal. And the lowest I'll go for him is maybe 9.8. But because he's very major, I'm not going to pay him that. I'll pay him 10.4. 10.9 is too much. I got to create room to pay my crewmen and my minor characters. And you got to watch for the budget. 10.9 is too much. Pay him 10.4 million base. Djimon Hounsou. That's a good deal for him. So you get your $10.4 million for the 10 months of shooting, of filming, obviously. That's a good paycheck for Djimon Hounsou. Is it Djimon? It's either Djimon Hounsou or Djimon Hounsou. I don't know how you pronounce his name. You guys don't know the actor. He was in Blood Diamond. You guys don't know the actor, right? He's in Shazam. He's a wizard in Shazam, right? Yeah. Obviously. And I'll give him 6.3 million in royalties. So a bit more than the other guys because he's an A-list actor, but he's not that big of an A-list actor. He's kind of like, eh. He's an A-list actor, but he's kind of like, eh. He's not like that big. He's worth like $12 million. Pay him like 6.3 million in royalties. It's a good deal for him. And sign him to like a $1.7 million deal for the game. A bit less than 2 because he's not, he's kind of like, He's an ace actor, but he's kind of like, he's not that big, Djimon Hounsou. So pay him like $1.7 million deal for the game. Because you're going to be playing as Cassius, Tacitonius, Papyri, and like me, and like, the only people you don't play as is like Queen Sarah, Lithius, Baramis. You don't play as those characters. They're in the game, but they're CPU characters and they're in cutscenes and you hear the voices. You don't play as them. That's why the woman actors are all get like way less. They get like a couple $100,000. You don't play as them, but you play as all the men who fight in the movie, the Selvins and Northens. That's why you pay those guys in millions. If you play as them quite a bit in the game, they deserve their millions. But if they want 10 million, they're ripping you off. Pay them like a few $1 million. Let them rip you off, obviously. You sign those 3 people first. And afterwards, you can sign Karl Urban, you can sign Don Cheadle or Vigo. Chances are I'll choose Don Cheadle. I think he's better for Maramis. I'm hating Vigo, you know what I'm saying? Chances are I will choose Don Cheadle over Vigo. He's better for the role. I can picture him more as Maramis. Okay, Mel, you sign Karl. Pay him 4.5, give him $5.5 million in royalties. Sign him to $1.5 million deal for the game. And then VJ, you can sign Danielle Minette. Danielle Minette if you want. Pay her 3.5 salary and give her $5.5 million in royalties. Pay her three. You gotta watch for the budget. Pay Danielle Minette $3 million, and then give her $5.5 million in royalties. Because Mary's not as major as Papari and Mary's just as major as Belle, pretty much, but like she's not as major as Lithia. Lithia is a bit more major. They're supporting characters. Pay her three. That's good pay. 3.3. That's good paycheck for her, and give her $5.5 million in royalties. And I will sign the big man, Don Cheadle himself, obviously. Because Don Cheadle is the biggest out of all those actors. He's worth like 40, by then he'll be worth like probably 45 million plus. Sign Don Cheadle to his big contract. Pay him 10 million. If he wants more, I'm like, Don, I'm not paying you anymore, man. You read my book, Maramis is a pretty major character. He's not like super major like Papyri and them. And because you're a big actor, I'm still paying you 10. It's a good paycheck. You don't even make this in Hollywood. 10 million base, and I'll give you like a massive 16 million to keep you happy. I'll give you a massive 16 million in royalties. So you sign a $26 million deal for the movie. That's a massive contract. You don't make this in Hollywood. And I'll pay you like $2 million for the game because you're really big. Vigo, I'll match his contract with. No, Vigo, I can pay him a bit. I can pay him maybe 9.5 because he's not as big as Don. I can pay Vigo maybe. No, I can pay him 10. Vigo, I pay him 10 million base because he's pretty big. He's not as big as Don, but he's pretty big. He has a presence. He'll build some buzz for the movie Vigo. Oh my God, Lord of the Rings guy is Maramis. I'm saying, but I'm paying him way less. I'm paying him less for the royalties. I'll pay him 11 million for the royalties. Ivan, that's because I don't even make this in Hollywood. Ivan, if he goes like Ivan, sign me up. That's a fucking deal. I don't even make this in Hollywood. For Lord of the Rings, I made like $1.5 million. Ivan, he's all happy. Yeah, I'll give you 11 million in royalties. Ivan, you're very generous, man. We're not even worth this, man. We're like, yeah, Vigo's only worth like 4 million for my movie. 5 million for my movie at most. People like, Mel's like, Ivan, like, you're overpaying all your actors, man. You know what I'm saying? They're all making a rich contracts, yeah. Ivan, they're all going to work really hard for me. They're all going to work really hard. All your stars are signing they're all signing massive deals, yeah. And Vigo, I pay him $2 million for the game. Because he's worth like 30 million plus. I pay him $2 million for the game, obviously. You play as him in the game, but chances are I will choose Don over Vigo. But if I hire Peter might be biased. I even choose Vigo over Don because he's biased. Because I know Vigo, he's an amazing actor. I even choose him over Don. I don't know, but I can picture Don more as Maramis. I can Vigo. I can picture him as Maramis, but I can't. I don't really picture Maramis as a white man. I picture him as a black man. To be honest, when I read the book, I could picture Maramis as a white man, obviously, but I think it'd be better if you have Don Cheadle. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because, like, the royal family, they're all black, obviously. I think it'd be cool if Maramis is black, too. Yeah. Obviously. I think Don Cheadle's better for the role of Maramis than Vigo. And Don Cheadle's younger than Vigo. He's, like, in his late 50s. Vigo's in his early 60s. He's older. By the time I do Zane's, he'll be, like, 70. 70 years old, he's still fine. He'll still be able to do all the action scenes, but he's a bit older, obviously. Whereas Don Cheadle will be, like, in his, like, mid-60s. He's younger than Vigo. But he's more expensive than Vigo, obviously, Don Cheadle. So I'm saying he's more expensive than Vigo, Don Cheadle, because he's bigger than him. Then we sign the rest of the cast, obviously. So me, VJ, and Mel are going to sign all the stars. And once we sign all the stars, we show them the demonic pictures out where they know what they're dealing with. They're all shocked. Holy shit, that's fucking... You're going to see this in the documentary. That's fucking spooky. And Mel Gibson's like, yeah, guys, Ivan's pouring 600 million plus towards visual effects. Towards these demonic beings. For the Passion of Christ, we only poured what? For Passion of Christ, we only put like, I don't know, like 8 million towards $9 million towards visual effects. And you got like demons and the Satan all looking like that. Ivan's pouring $600 million towards visual effects alone. He's pouring $34 million towards sets. We rented the best IMAX cameras in the business. You know what I'm saying? We updated the cameras. Hans Zimmer's composing the soundtrack for Zanus. So I'm saying, yeah. We also put money into we also rented the best machines for creating the best masks in the business. Professional prosthetic masks, yeah. Everything are going to be real demons and devils, guys. You guys are going to be legends. Mel Gibson will even say, yeah, guys, remember you guys see my movie? Yeah, Mel, we saw, yeah. Remember how Passion Christ was a pretty freaky movie with the demons and all that stuff, with Jesus and all that stuff, and then the music and then the themes? Yeah, Zayas will make that movie look good, man. And that movie was rated R. And it was only made for $30 million. You got those demons looking like that and that horrific theme in the movie. Everything them are gonna be real demons, guys. Looking at devils. Looking at devils, guys. You guys are gonna be like world. You guys are gonna be legends, man. Remembered for generations. These Xenos actors are gonna be remembered for generations. Even after they die, they're still gonna be legends. The new generations going back watching the movie are gonna be, oh my god, these actors are legends. Yeah, everything them are real demons and devils. Yeah, man. Give me a sec, guys. I gotta take a shit. I have about like 2 minutes to my phone. I'll be back in a second. I'll show my camera for a sec.